welcome to another episode of the Webcam Series. This time around, again, you see all of three of us are clad in the famous color of Arsenal. So there's no way that we can deviate but talk about Arsenal and Arsenal alone. I'm really glad that I'm joined by two guests, my honored guests. The first one, let me start. I'll introduce you. This is Mr. Alexander. Bro, how are you coping with the 2-2 draw against Southampton?
Um, it's a terrible result, yet it's not something unexpected.
Mhm.
We have seen past few matches our performance, and usually coming to a fixture like this, playing against a team like Southampton, when talk about score prediction, everybody will go 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, 4-1, but nowadays, if you can win 1-0, we'll be very happy. Before the match started, there are actually a lot of Arsenal fans who is predicting draw. Some even go as far as predicting a loss for the Gunners. And the fact of the matter that we only managed to equalize right at the stoppage time. Just goes to show that we are really, a confirmation of how bad we are now.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you in your track, buddy. That was just an introduction, and what an introduction it was. So that's how much pain and frustration we have in us. Pent up anger. Second guest I have is Top Leg again, familiar face, one of my wonder kids. How was your weekend after the dreadful draw against Southampton? Top.
In a way, it was better than expected. I remember on the episode, right, on the Wonder Kid episode where I did the prediction, I actually said Arsenal would lose. I
You
said
did.
2-1. I said 2-1. So yes, it wasn't pretty, and I really wanted I wanted a better win. Like he was saying, last time this fixture, right, will be winning 3-0, 4-0, and it's a Southampton team, that lost 9-0 at home to Leicester. It is
Yeah.
crazy. You cannot
Digest that.
even beat. We can't beat them. Even though they lost 9-0 to Leicester. All credit to Leicester, but it's crazy. How can we just concede two? And the defending was slack. It was horrible.
It was. It was. But that's nothing new. That's nothing new. Talk. I know you're a young gunner, but yeah, welcome to the Arsenal life. So we will start things proper. The first thing, of course, we are going to dissect Arsenal versus Southampton. A game that I really don't want to actually do a bit of a post-mortem. But hey, this is right now the current talking point, so let's talk about it. Let me just lay out some damning stats against us. We were being peppered in terms of shot
Yeah.
face. 21 again, that is becoming fast recurring theme. And also, let's talk about formation, because I know with you, right, Alex, you were a bit skeptical when the formation was being laid out. We were actually playing with a 3-5-2. Please remind me if I forget, were we playing against Baiti Barcelona, or were we playing against Man City, Alex?
I, I, I think it's not about who we are playing. I think it's clear to see that Unai Emery is more afraid to lose than winning.
Mm.
Okay, I think the irony of it all is we used to have a manager, our past manager, who play to the strength of the team that he had, and he totally ignore you know ignore who we are playing against. We are always playing with the same players with the same style of football, and the fans are always the fans are not happy about it. The fans has been complaining that hey, we need somebody who have a better tactical awareness. And now we have a manager that's exactly the opposite. Okay, so I think the amazing thing is we do not have a settled team. We do not have a settled formation. Okay, he can play the fact of the matter that he can play five defenders and two defensive midfielders against a team like Southampton who got trashed 9-0 by Leicester. It just goes to show that it's all about protection first. Okay, he's more afraid of losing, and he is not playing to the strength of the team. And I think it's wasting the talents of players like Lacazette, Aubameyang, and even Nico Peck.
Good, thank you. Top. Now that Alex actually brought us nicely to a brand new point. He actually ended on the note of Nicolas Pepe. Now twice consecutively against Leicester, he was being missed again, left out again out of the starting 11. Again today, or rather the recent one against Southampton at home, playing 3-5-2, which is again beyond comprehension why we are actually deploying such tactics. So negative playing at home, especially at the Emirates. Although I actually have actually managed my own expectation, because we knew that everybody was expecting a whitewash, a total massacre of Southampton, just because Leicester actually beat them 9-0. But of course, being Arsenal, no, we were not that deluded yet. But then again, Nicolas Pepe, just touching on that issue, 72 million record signing for Arsenal. Surely he should be starting for us, right, Doc?
He should. And given the lack of confidence he has in the Premier League, right, he has to start in games like this where Arsenal will be expected to get a result. Imagine, I think Unai Emery, I don't know what is the problem, but he seems to be playing our big players, playing in the big games. But Pepe, right, he's a new player, he hasn't adjusted to the league yet, and you want him to play in big games such as like against Liverpool. You can see his talent, but you have to let him gain the confidence, not by one penalty that he scored in the Premier League. You have to let him run with the ball, let him know how it's like to deal with the defenders. You cannot bench him and expect him to turn out like Messi. You can't. How it's like Foden. How can Pep bench him and expect him to play very well? It is the same. And you know, Pepe has a price tag to live up to. 72 million is not a small sum. So you have to let him gain his confidence. And I don't know what Emery is trying to do. It is a team that got trashed 9-0 by Leicester, and you play a 3-5-2 with wingbacks. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
No, it's never made sense actually, to be honest with you guys, with Unai Emery. But Alex, talk to me. We set up 3-5-2. We were supposed to negate their whatever potential attack they had in their arsenal. And surprise, surprise, we conceded 2 goals. And even at the point of 97 minute, during the dying minute, Southampton was going all out attack against us. So much disrespect has been showered upon Arsenal. Do you see now a pattern that any club, being a small club or of any scale and size, they will come up against Arsenal and they will just run riot against us? Is that the new thing in the Emirates, Alex?
I think the interesting thing to share is, first of all, we are football fans. Okay, at the end of the day, we are not football genius. We're not the manager. Okay, That's why we are here today. But the fact is, even as a football fan, we can see where the weakness is. We know where the problem lies. We know that we can't be playing out from the back, and yet we stubbornly persist on doing this. Okay, I mean, if you look at it today, if you are the coach of opponent football club, don't you think that it's very, very easy to play against Arsenal? Very easy. You know that no matter what, regardless, we will always play out from the back.
Yep.
And our defenders are all so wobbly, not stable. Okay. Out of 5 times you press them, at least 2 or 3 times they'll give the ball away. And you know that when you play against the Arsenal defense, you always have a chance. You always have a chance. You look at Southampton, 21 shots against us. Watford, 36 shots against us.
Oh my God.
I mean that's amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
and I think it boils down to a lot of problems, a lot of issues. First of all, I think it's the quality of the players that we have, and also the discipline. The discipline is not there, and I think another thing that we can all see is there is no protection from our midfield. I think our midfield is too lightweight, and for the longest time we have been angling for somebody in the mold of a Vieira, a Gilberto Silva, for the longest time, and we do not have it. I think we lost the opportunity when we signed Xhaka instead of N'Golo Kante. And if you are aware, N'Golo Kante is cheaper than Xhaka.
and I'm going to stop you, or rather, I'm going to expand the whole topic of Shaka. Since you again brought us to an unwanted territory, I'm going to push this to talk about Shaka since the whatever happened to Shaka, or rather what happened between Shaka and us against Crystal Palace, right now he has been left out in the cold. He is not part of the team, it seems. But also we have to actually realize ever since Shaka himself has been omitted out of the first 11 or even the travelling squad, we have not yet won a game for ourselves. That is as much as we all can agree on. And in terms of Unai Emery's system, I look at his tactics. Even in his two managerial exploits with PSG, he had always deployed a center midfielder who would play at the diamond or rather at the bottom base with Thiago Motta. And then the same thing was again relevant for him against would rather with Sevilla. He was playing with Eva Banega, the guy that would actually replicate whatever Shaka is doing. But then issue is those Thiago Motta and Ever Banega was working wonderfully well for him, but not for Granit Xhaka. But to again, if we want to really be sensational about it, are we really missing Xhaka? Because I think personally, when it comes to just relieving pressure out of the back four, Xhaka is the best contender because his long 60, 70-yard passes can instantaneously relieve us of any unwanted pressure at the back. What do you say about that, Top?
Whether we are missing Shaka, I say definitely yes. Because as much as he's always the scapegoat, right? You hear of a lot of things. Oh, he's the captain, but he makes so many mistakes. I disagree. A good captain doesn't mean you have to be a good player. Shaka is a good captain. When you see how the squad gels when he's there, right? He brings the play. He is the gel in the squad. So you take him out of the squad, and then there's so many problems. You don't have that leadership, don't have the influence. Mm-hmm. It's not just about his 60, 70-yard pass. It's the whole mindset. It's like you take away the captain from a squad just like that. I'm not saying Aubameyang is not good, a good captain, but Xhaka was, as much as he's error prone, he's mistake prone, he tends to dive into the stupid tackles. He is a good captain. And just now, Mr. Alexander was saying we missed out on the chance to sign Kante, but I don't think Kante would have been a better fit for the Vieira role. You know what I mean? Kante is not the fierce midfield dominator kind of midfielder. He is a box to box, up and down, the 12th player, that kind of player. Xhaka is a more robust, more rough. He gets the job done. But yes, he is error prone. After all, in the end, he is the captain. And I don't know whether you guys saw the post on Torreira. He was crying after the abuse on Xhaka. You could see why he was the captain. I mean, I don't know whether reports of Emery putting it to the players to choose the captain at the start of the season was actually true, but I wouldn't doubt it. Xhaka is a good leader. He is very, very influential. So I think without him, right, the whole squad will not be performing well. You lose your captain, you lose your morale, and you lose games. Simple as that.
Alex, I'm just going to actually open up the topic for you when it comes to our defense with one compelling stat. Arsenal has actually achieved an award, something that we should be proud of. We have achieved the most penalty conceded. At least, in some standing, Arsenal is top. So to be precise, we have considered 5. That's more than any other team on earth, or rather in the Premier League itself. I actually had a joke with my friend just now actually during a meeting I had. It's a bit of a Disneyland in the Emirates, especially in the defensive line. So those who think that Disneyland is in Anaheim, they must have never visited Emirates, because what it seems that what's happening at the back, especially with David Luiz and Socrates, every single time when we are under siege, when we are being attacked by our opponent, they both turn into Bambi on ice. Everybody was skating along. It was becoming fast, a ice skating ring. Who should be the preferred backline, Alex?
I have no answer to this. Why do I say that? We started with Socrates. Then we have Socrates and Luis. Then we are hoping for the return of Holding. Holding is back. And we complain that but our wing back in Ainsley Maitland-Niles is not a natural wing back. Let's wait for Bellerin to come back. Then we complain about Kolasinac. can move, can go forward, no end product, cannot defend. Now, Tierney is back, Bellerin is back, we have Lewis, we have Socrates, we have Holdings back. Who else do we have?
Mustafi.
So your reaction tells everything.
I just had to.
I think we do not have a commanding leader. Okay, a no nonsense commanding leader, who will lead by example, who will instill discipline and fear, positive fear into the whole back line. To make sure that you do your work, somebody like a Tony Adam, someone old school. Socrates is terrible, error prone. Lewis is over the hill. Holding doesn't inspire inspiration. So I don't think Holding can get to the first team of the top 4.
Yep.
So who else do we? I really don't know anybody else who the best of who we have. I used to think that maybe Mavropanos could be the one, but he's too injury prone and
It is. Yeah.
and I don't know where he is now. Okay, so if you ask me, I think it is crucial that we have to make do with what we have now. Okay, and if you ask me, the best, personally the best of what we have in terms of the center back, I will put probably Lewis and Chambers, and I think it's crucial that we have to invest and bring in the established, no nonsense, ready-made centre back in the January window.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And also, what bothers me as well, right, Top, looking at when we play 3-5-2, my biggest nagging fear is we don't have a strong enough of a midfield. So we actually fielded Matteo Guendouzi and also Lucas Torreira, who is almost like-minded. And the funny thing is, when you are playing 3-5-2, you are supposed to have at least one of your defensive midfielder just shielding or screening your back three. He shouldn't be doing suicides like in basketball. So, but whatever I saw on Southampton, against Southampton rather, it was a complete opposite of what a 3-5-2 midfielder should do. Instead, it was becoming a bit of a track and field event between Matteo Guendouzi and also Lucas Torreira. It was as if that they were playing a 100-meter sprint. Whoever reaches the opponent box first will probably get an increment in terms of bonus.
Torreira, is he a box-to-box midfielder? That is the question. He is a hard. He goes into tackles hard, and unfortunately, our manager is I don't know what kind of weed he's smoking or what kind of cigarettes he's smoking. You don't play him as a number 10. You play him as a number 6 or 8. He's a deep lying playmaker. He's a defensive midfielder. Stop playing him so high up. Guendouzi, I don't know. I think last season he was so good. He was putting in, performances that were like made me go wow. When he got signed, I was surprised. I was like, oh, who's this kid? Maybe it's a prospect for the future. Oh, he got thrusted into the first team with the first few games. I was like, oh, and he's good. He's not bad. He got a France call-up. But something's wrong. I don't think it's the players. It's something the manager is telling them that they are doing wrong. Like I don't blame the players. I blame the coach. Something's wrong with the coach. It's not the players' fault. I really don't think so. And about the topic where we don't have a defender, don't have the inspiring defender. Our last one left for Bordeaux. He left for Bordeaux. He must have seen something was going wrong. Now when you see the problems with what's happening in the team, what's going on with the results, you realize maybe Koscielny left because he saw something wrong. There must have been something wrong within the squad, within the hierarchy. He's like, I'm done. And he just leaves for Bordeaux. It is a surprise. When I read the news, I was surprised. How can a club captain who devoted so many years of his life under Wenger and even under Emery for his first season just suddenly leave like that? It is ridiculous. There must have been something that went wrong that he saw that we as fans can't see. He must have seen something, and I tell you, it's probably something wrong with the coach.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you, Talk. I think Emirates is fast becoming a shit show, and of course, the main leading cast will be Unai Emery. As we are shooting right now, it's 12:06 a.m. And until now, we have not heard of any news about Unai Emery. Right now, for yourself, right, Alex, I want to touch about not Unai just yet. I want to talk about the hostility that is actually brewing up in Emirates. So, like I mentioned to you yesterday, we've seen the ugly side of Emirates against Arsene Wenger, against Emmanuel Eboué, against Mustafi, and now against Granit Xhaka. And lo and behold, one common denominator in all these events, all of them actually left, except for Granit Xhaka and Mustafi, of course, but they have been totally frozen out. Does that actually again strike a fear for potential transfer when they are pondering about a move to Arsenal? Also, they have to weigh in with the fact that at any point of time, this fan base will reach melting point.
I totally disagree. Okay. If that's the case, no one will go to no player will want to go to Real Madrid.
Okay.
No player will want to go to Barcelona. No player
Yeah.
want to go to Manchester United, because these are big clubs with high standards. They demand success every season. They do not compromise. The fans are used to success. The fans are impatient. And I think the latest news today is Antonio Conte, the coach of Inter Milan, who is
Bullets.
second in the Serie A, one
Yep.
point behind Juve. I think today he received a letter with a bullet.
Bullets.
That was a few days ago, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Crazy,
What is all this compared to us? I think at the end of the day we have to understand fans are human. We have emotions, and I think what's happening now is the pent up frustration and emotion that we suffered, ever since the 2004 invincible era, whereby Arsenal is a big club. It's a big club, okay, but the frustration is we do not act like a big club, and we are so far away from the big boys now. Okay, so I mean, so when you boo the poor performance, the poor player, I think the fans have the right to. What I do not agree is abuse. When you send death threats, you curse the family members, that's wrong. I do not
Yep.
agree with that. But I mean, if a player plays well, you cheer him. If a player doesn't play well consistently, if the team is shit, matches after matches, season after season, can you be there to clap and continue to cheer? I think we are fans after all. So if you
Yeah.
ask me, the booing is deserved because we are so shit now.
And I couldn't agree more with the shit term, and also just touching on just probably splash a bit of light humor with Antonio Conte and what he faced. Being Italian, he probably turned those bullets into a great meal of pasta lah. Anyway, so right now, talk moving to you again. Like I mentioned, we have not heard anything massive or groundbreaking about Unai Emery. I think for all the noises that we have made, also I use the word noise because that was being termed by Raul. He said that the board will not react to noise or noises. Does it worry you right now? It seems that they are watching a different show from us, definitely, because whatever they are watching is probably bionic because we need that kind of eyesight because we are not seeing whatever they are seeing. Right now, just to put things into perspective, we are almost out of touch with the top four.
I think we are.
We are, right? So we are talking about double digits in terms of difference between the top two at least. And now our closest contender, Chelsea, surprise, surprise, they were the guys who were supposed to go through turbulence. But, that's the effect of having a good coach. Is top four really out of touch right now? And we as Arsenal fans, should we now again look forward to Thursday or rather Friday night or Thursday night football?
Whether we should look forward to Thursday, I mean Europa League.
Europa League again?
Yeah, I think the only way we're going to get to the Champions League is by winning the Europa League. But even if I say that, we are not going to win the Europa League. It is simple. How did we get trashed last season in the Europa League? It was humiliating. I don't want to go out, or the day after the Europa League final, I don't want to go out in an Arsenal shirt. I don't. It is disgraceful. You don't lose by such a margin in the final. And I don't know, is Emery now the question comes into my head, actually it just came. Is he a winner? Mourinho is a winner, right?
Mhm.
Pep is a winner. Klopp is a winner. Is Emery a winner? He bottled the lead, the big lead against Barcelona at PSG.
Mhm.
So is he a winner? Will he be able to guide us back to Champions League? No. He can't win the Europa League. He can't qualify in the top four. I don't know what it is with a target. I think last season when the board set him, oh, you have to finish top four. That was a target, right? It's a target for the new manager. Okay, everyone was fine. He was doing well. He was doing okay. 22 games unbeaten. We were decently solid. We were fine. Then after that, at the back end of the season, we collapsed. We missed out on top four. You know, it was a horrendous feeling. At the last part of the season, you collapse. You miss out on top four. And then, okay, the club gives him more money. You spend on the players you want. We don't reinforce the back line. We buy David Luiz, which is ridiculous. I think now that I think about it, he is not a good signing at all.
Mhm.
And we buy David Luiz. We buy a 72 million pound striker, a winger, sorry, attacker, and then you don't use him. You don't let him gain confidence. You're just gonna let him rot on the bench. You're gonna ruin him like how Man U ruined Di Maria back in the day. So all these factors come into play, and then you're thinking, oh, is it possible for him to guide us back to Champions League? No, I honestly do not think so. I think we can look forward to Europa League for the next year at least.
Um, Alex, we talk about just Mourinho, such an irky topic to touch on. But then again, he's now done and dusted proposal. He's now with our bitter rivals first. Of course, when the news came up, of course, there was just swirling rumors. There was no leak to the stories, but of course, media being media, they actually wrote about it, just putting two and two together just because we needed a manager and he was then available. But then again, you saw the big uproar in the Arsenal fan base when it came to Mourinho. Just the mere mention of him, will make the fan base shudder, especially the one in Singapore. That is as much as we both can agree on. Have we actually missed a trick with Mourinho? And the question for you, Alex, has Spurs stolen a match against Arsenal?
I think before I answer the question, I would like to ask you guys a question. When is the last time Arsenal have a good defense?
That was the invisible era, man. Sol Campbell and Kolo Toure, Ashley Cole, Lauren at the back.
That is fucking 15 years ago. My
He was, man.
15 years. Yeah.
He's not wrong. He's right.
Yeah. Okay. So we all know that the underlying fundamental reason is our defense. Our defense is shit.
Mhm.
I think it's naive to think that a team can be successful just by outscoring your opponent. They score 4, we score 5. They score 5, we score 6. It's naive. Defense is everything. And if you ask me, I think Mourinho is a guy that can wake the whole team up and improve our defense. But talking about Mourinho, I think the topic of Mourinho will it's a controversial one. It always get people heated up. Okay. Personally, I hated Mourinho when he managed our opponents. Why? Two reasons why. Because he's freaking irritating. And because he is freaking successful.
Exactly.
I hated him.
Mhm.
I hated him so much until I realized that actually I wanted him
Mhm.
to manage our team. Okay, and if you look at his time at Manchester United, he's there for 2 seasons, if I'm not wrong. 2 seasons.
Yep.
Okay, so what did he achieve in the first season? He brought a substandard team to second place, Champions League automatic qualification, which he himself has rendered that is his biggest achievement.
The biggest achievement.
He won the Europa. He won the League Cup.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys. Okay, the second year he failed, right?
Yep, it did.
Let me ask you guys. Let's say today we got a manager in, and this manager replicate exactly what Mourinho had done. This season, we won the Europa, we won the League Cup, we achieved second place. but next season we are shit. Will you take that?
Yes. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Majority of Arsenal fans do not want this. They rather see the club underperform. They rather give it to a rookie like Arteta, Vieira, Thierry on. Why? Because Arsenal disrespected our God, Arsene Wenger. Because Mourinho insulted my club. Because Mourinho parked the bus. So what if he won against the big team by playing ugly football? But he parked the bus. I don't want to win. I do not want my club to win if they park the bus. So no, Mourinho, no. But I'd rather give it to Arteta. I'd rather give it to Patrick Vieira. So what if Mourinho is a proven winner? So what? Can you see the destruction, the mayhem that he will bring to the club? He is classless. No, I'd rather we have no trophy. A lot of fans are about, and you can't argue with them on this. You can't argue with them. They call you plastic. They will they'll give you all sorts of names. But to me, it's very clear. Okay, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I do not care who's the coach, be it Mourinho, be it Fandi Ahmad, or being Alvarez. I do not care who is a coach. As long as we win, that's what we want. And at the end of the day, football is measured by success. Football is measured by trophies. Okay, so what? He is here and he can only give us short-term success. Do you honestly think that we're going to find another coach that can be with us 10 years, 20 years, 2 years? No way. No way. That's what I feel about it. And I think we missed the boat. We should have gone all out for Mourinho. And if you think about it, if you analyze it based on what we know about Mourinho, he is a very egoistic man. Very, very egoistic man. Okay, he has been successful everywhere he go. He got sacked by Manchester United, but actually a lot of big clubs want him. But he still want to remain in the Premier League. Why? Because he want to prove a point. He want to prove a point. Do not forget, every day as we age, as we mature, so does Mourinho.
Yeah.
He will change. He can change. He can become more humble. He can learn from his previous mistakes. And if you ask me, come to think about it, I love it when he's somebody who slack off, who insulted, he play my games, he fuck you up. He disturb you, he mind fuck you, he makes you angry. It's all part of the package.
Yep.
It's all part of the package. And when he called Arsene Wenger a failure, a specialist in failure. Let me ask you guys a question.
And a voyeur as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the specialist in failure tag. If you are not an Arsenal fan, do you agree with Mourinho that Wenger is perhaps in some way a specialist in failure as compared to Mourinho?
Look, I'm going to touch on this. For Mourinho to actually go full brunt against Wenger at that point of time, calling him a specialist in failure, if you were to ask me, touch my heart, I don't think that was a fair statement, because given the circumstances that Wenger was under, the whole move from Highbury to also Emirates, and to actually keep the sustainability alive and still challenging for top honours, I personally feel at that point in time, Mourinho would have never replicated. He would even not touch the proposal of Arsenal, he would never go anywhere near Arsenal's project because he knows for sure he wouldn't be able to do half the thing that Wenger did. Of course, at the end of the day, it's a business-oriented kind of industry whereby you are being measured by results. But hey, I think with the move from Highbury to Emirates, I think the whole financial issue runs deeper than what it seems to be. It's just not about us penny pinching. It's about us keeping sustainability alive and still again maintaining the top four honor, because at that point of time that was our trophy, Champions League. And if you were to really be skeptical, or rather, if you want to really be sensational about it, I think uh, it was bang out of order from Mourinho to actually call Wenger specialist in failure. I don't know, what do you think, Tom?
To call him a specialist in failure it is just how Mourinho does work. It is a Mourinho thing to do, from all his stuff, or calling himself the special one, calling someone the specialist in failure, etc., etc. These are all part of his plans. I mean, when you think about it, on the managerial front, Wenger has run way longer than Mourinho as of that time. Now Wenger stepped out of the management. As of that time, Wenger was like an elder to an extent. He was a more experienced, not in trophies, though. He's not as successful. He is not as successful. He is more experienced. To call him a specialist in failure, it's very, very harsh.
Mm-hmm.
When you say specialist in failure, right, do you mean it can be interpreted in different ways? Yes, Wenger didn't win a trophy. Not a lot. After 03-04, the trophy started drying up. There was less and less things for Arsenal fans to celebrate. But still, you bring a bang average team to the Champions League every single year. And you reach the round of 16. Yes, at that time when we were, before Wenger left, we were all saying, oh, the club is stagnating. The club is not moving forward. We are always getting knocked out by Bayern. We are always getting trashed by Bayern. Now we look back. Would you take that time back? Because I would. I'd rather be in the Champions League every single year, but get knocked out at the round of 16, than end up watching Thursday night against farmers from Venezuela. Wherever,
Venezuela, South America, mate.
I know, but you get my gist. I would have taken the days where we were in Champions League every single year with a bang average squad, with bloody Nicholas Bender on the top. I would take it. I would take it back. I don't want to be watching Thursday night football against Vitesse, etc. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you see, the thing is, for both of you, the Mourinho's topic will never end. And maybe one day, I hope it wouldn't happen. But for me, it's such a daunting fact knowing that with his track record, he usually would achieve something in terms of silverware, and that is something that Spurs has never achieved for the past 11 years. They are so desperate to do it. You probably might see them in Geylang in one of the fish tanks. Or they are that desperate really for silverware. And I think we push Mourinho issue aside. Again, the jury is still out whether he would be a success or not. I personally think he would bring at least a piece of silverware. But hey, then again, Mourinho is not to be mentioned in the holy shrine of Arsenal because it will upset the god and the demigods up there. But so I want to wrap this up. Right now, we'll start with Alex first. No news, no noise, no activity from our board. Are we looking at traveling to Norwich with Unai at the helm still?
Seems likely because I think if you want to act, you want to act fast. Probably, Monday they will sack him, but he's still around, and I think it's very disruptive to sack him 1 or 2 days before our next match against Frankfurt. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think likely Unai will be the one that's bringing us to against Norwich. But I personally hope that the board act fast,
Mm-hmm.
because this season is crucial. It's crucial. We need to achieve top 4 by hook or by crook. Okay, why is that so? Because I think at this point in time, it's critical that we're not even talking about trophies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even talking about trophies. We're talking about keeping our tag as a big club. What comes to your mind when you think of clubs like AC Milan and Marseille?
Sleeping giant, man.
They are former giants. Last time they are among the top.
They were.
League champion, but look at where they are now. They're stagnating in mid-table, and And if we do not get out of our current situation, we might end up like them. Whereby we are a formal big club. We are no longer a big club. We are a formal big club. So I think that we need to act fast and bring in, hopefully, take the risk, bring in hopefully the right manager that can turn things around, achieve top four, so that we can attract the right players, the big players in, okay, and start to rebuild again. If not, can you imagine if this year we, for the fifth consecutive year, we go back to Europa?
Seems like it's our favorite destination, mate, right now.
Yeah, I think
only
Nicolas Pepe is a fluke.
Okay, we will leave Nicolas Pepe for next week, Alex.
What I meant is when Nicolas Pepe is a big name. It's a big name. Asking the Giants is a fluke. If you're going to Europa again, I think we will not be able to attract the top level kind of players. We can only attract the Xhakas,
The B class lah.
the B class.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
not.
So I mean, I will put that into a simple analogy. Probably the next time we go shopping for durian, the most we can afford is D24 lah, because Mao Shan Wang is really not part of the list. Just to wrap things up with you talk. Actually, Alex spoke briefly about AC Milan sleeping giant. And for Milan fan out there, rejoice, man! We gave you a parting gift in Ivan Gazidis, so enjoy him while he lasts. So for you, right?
Okay, right here now.
That's why I say it's a care package for AC Milan. We care so much for them. We gave them Ivan Gazidis. So with talk right now, we are coming up against Frankfurt. I think our Europa League performances is kind of strong. Surprisingly, I think he is more attacking when it comes to Europa League. At the end of the day, like it or not, he is the specialist in Europa League.
Yes.
Hypothesis: he managed to actually flung top four again this season, but he managed to clinch us the Europa League. Does that mean that we should activate that 1 year clause in his contract talk?
No, definitely not. When you look at this season's Europa League campaign. Yes, it is strong, but you must remember we drew to, was it Victoria? Victoria, and we only have one pass or one successful pass into the box, and that was from a free kick.
And one shot on target, which we scored by our great Mustafi.
Yes, our Lord and Savior. So the problem is, even if let's say we win the Europa League, right? We qualify for the Champions League. Yes, we flung the league, but it doesn't bode well. It doesn't bode well. Okay, we make it to the Champions League. So what? Are we going to get out of the group stage? The teams there are much harder than the farmers we see in Europa League. There will be the likes of Bayern, Napoli, example. Now even Atlanta, Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all these big teams. And you want us to bring Unai Emery to the Champions League for what? We are going to lose we lost by such a margin to Chelsea already. You want us to lose 10-0 to Madrid, 11 to Barcelona, and 12 to Dortmund? No, he is definitely not the one to lead us. And so what? Champions League, we are not going to win it, right? So let's say we qualify for Champions League next season. Okay, we are not going to win it, and with Emery, we are definitely not going to qualify for top four. So that will just bring us all the way back down the table, and we are going to be like what Alex said. We are going to be a mid-table club from a former, we are going to be a former giant. We are going to be sleeping giant. Definitely, this is how it will go.
Yeah, right. So I mean, on that note, it's for me personally right now, the tag of being a mid-table club is actually bedding in quite well for me. I don't know, I find it really strange, but now the thought of Arsenal, it's synonymous to being a failure. But we will leave it as it is right now. Thank you both, Alex and also Talk, for being so sporting to come up. It's really a hard topic to tackle when it comes to Arsenal right now, especially with all the brilliant results that they have been stringing up. I will catch you guys again next week. I hope this time you will have a better story to tell when we play against Norwich. But hey, about our away record. That is even more interesting than Conjuring. That is more even scarier than Conjuring. But I will leave you guys with that. Again, this is Napshot Studio. For those of you who are new, please subscribe to this channel. And for those of you who are keen, please just drop me a PM. We might actually put you up on the show. But until then, signing out. Guys, have a good night. Take care. Go easy on the pills, man. Don't be so depressed. Bye.